Hey there, folks. Rinimt here, and welcome back to Slay the Princess. Let's go.
You make...
So in the last part, we got adversary. So we are going to go in, and we are not going to take the blade.
The daughter...
I think I'm here to slay you. Let's talk.
Okay.
I remember. So my goal is I'm trying to get to Beast, right? I don't want to keep her locked away or leave. What you're gonna do to get out. Need to remember how to get her to like kill me. I'm here for a reason. Gonna end the world. I'm told enough. Appreciate the vote of confidence.
They haven't shared a thing, have they? All they've done is point a finger. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
Like this for
so this shouldn't be...
Can I go retrieve the blade?
You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
You'll regret this. I promise you. But go ahead, run along and get whatever you're planning to get. But you'd better hope that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation.
I'm gonna get a lot bigger. What's an arm?
This is a dangerous... Your eyes
this.
dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she? As you step towards the severed limb, you hear the pattering of feet behind you, soft against the basement floor, then loud and desperate against the stairs. You turn to chase after the princess, but she's fast and has too much of a lead.
How did I get to base before?
She slams the door behind her before you can make it to the top of the stairs. The lock clicks into place. No!
Thanks for letting me out. I'd return the favor, but I think we both know that I can't trust you to let me stay free. You should understand. It just isn't worth the risk.
With those parting words, the princess walks away, her quiet footsteps eventually fading as she leaves you and the cabin to rot. You're stuck here, alone. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. You don't know how much time passes before the end. But eventually, it comes. The world ends, and you end with it.
Good enough?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Not quite the way I was planning to go.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to...
But we can roll with it.
A warning.
But we're on the witch, apparently, I guess. I'm trying to debate if I wanted to go for my initial plan for where I want to go, because witch and beast can go together. I'm gonna I'm gonna go for the way I was gonna plan for. I was gonna try to go for the witch too, but enter.
No blade. Hope you know what you're getting us into. It'll always be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below.
Hello.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
I freed you.
She must have you confused with someone else.
Look, I'm just throwing ideas in there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes to discussion. I hear. I see how we
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
I'm on R. This gesture of goodwill, so why don't we talk it out?
You came to me with empty hands last time, too. But that didn't mean you hadn't been plotting something nasty all along. What you did showed me as much.
But we didn't plot anything. We just made an informed decision based on the information we had at the time. I think you're both making perfectly valid points. Sure, we didn't plot anything, but it's easy to see how she might think we did.
I could do the last option and go back to my path I wanted. Why are you feeling nagging feeling you're gonna stab me in the back if I help you out of here?
And why would I do such a thing? Is someone's guilty conscience getting to them? But I wouldn't worry. As much as I may hate you, letting you live is in my best interests. If you get me out of here, the only thing that will be dead and buried is the bad blood between us.
Oh, that nagging feeling you mentioned is me, by the way. I'm actually a little anxious about a potential backstabbing event. She needs us to get out of here. We'll be fine if that's what we decide to do. You won't be fine because destruction is in her nature. If she gets out of here, that's it for the world, remember? Even if that's true, that doesn't automatically mean she's going to stab us in the back. I think that depends on your definition of words like stab and in the back. She might not literally do that, but you could very well symbolically do the same thing. See? He gets it. There's nothing wrong with looking out for number one.
Let's quick save it. Not leaving. I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? I'm sure you've made mistakes.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize. Get us back on the right foot.
The only mistake I ever made was thinking you would help me. And I'm not going to make the same mistake twice.
Well, that leaves us at a stalemate.
But unfortunately, I need you if I'm ever going to leave this place.
Then bring my blade down. How am I supposed to get you out?
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Save. You're not happy with me.
Is that a joke? Do you think a joke will charm my trust back? You'll have to try harder than that.
Leave with her.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. Somebody has to go first, and it might as well be us. We're the ones who broke her trust last time. You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out, but if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
Quick save, not quick save. You first.
And turn my back on you? Do you think me a fool? Your tricks are one of the only things I've known, and I've learned better by now.
Just go first.
You're the one who said here you can't leave here without me, which means I hold all the cards. Either you go first or we stay here.
The princess leans close, her nose twitching as she sniffs your neck inquisitorially. What is she doing? I think she's trying to figure out if we're lying, so it's a good thing we didn't lie.
Your stink is the stink of a wretch, but not of a liar. If I have to go first, I'll go first. But I'll have you know my ears are sharp, and I've got eyes on the back of my head. They'll be watching.
Eyes on the back of her head? Does she really? No, we're fine. The princess pointedly turns her back on you and starts up the stairs.
Step.
You follow close behind her, the two of you walking on tiptoes through the knotted roots of the basement stairs.
We're almost there. You better not try anything. I know you're thinking it.
Us? No, never. Just keep your eyes peeled when you get out of the basement, if you catch my drift. I don't follow. Oh, you'll know it when you see it. The princess reaches the top of the stairs and crosses over the threshold, turning back to smile at you. But something catches her eye. Oh no.
Oh no? It's the blade, isn't it? I was going to tell you to grab it once we got upstairs. That was the whole keep your eyes peeled thing, and then you would have stabbed her in the back and we would have been winners!
I wonder if perhaps you were planning to bury this in my back. What an awful little scheme that would be. Too bad I got here first, and I don't even need it. Bye-bye, you loathsome little nuisance.
She slams the door on you. Its lock swiftly clicks into place.
We got an achievement.
No, not again! Locked in the basement. I thought for sure she was just going to stab us.
The princess cackles from the other side of the door.
I can't believe you let me do that to you again.
I thought you needed me to get out.
But I just couldn't help myself. And we both know that you're already scheming about how to get back at me if I ever open this door. So we're going to stay exactly as we are right now, for as long as either of us lives.
Force the
You
door?
throw yourself against the door. It won't budge.
What now? I'm stuck here.
Why isn't he saying anything? I think he's gone.
Oh, I didn't think I'd ever have to see you face to face again. Otherwise, I might have given you a little more courtesy at the top of the stairs. No hard feelings, I'm sure. Why is everything going away? I feel cold.
Okay, well, we got there in the end. Now we get a chance. Never return.
She's gone. And is that a...
Approach.
This... If he thinks it's bad, I'm with him.
For a small distance you approach. You've unraveled. Approach. Thoughts on this vessel?
This one is hope, marred by bitterness. She could see the end of the tunnel, and the door was closed on her. She will make for a righteous and weathered heart. Do not mourn her. She is finally on the other side.
Ready to go back?
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Be an untrusting vessel.
You're
Bring
on
the
a
witch
path
to her.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is...
Alright, so let's go to the cabin. We're gonna again go no knife. I'm here to slay you. Talk. Let's go retrieve the blade again. You weren't kidding, I thought you were just making a bad joke. You were actually sent here to kill me.
You'll regret this. I promise you. No,
Foot.
I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Your
Finish?
eyes dart.
Close the door.
Close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Investigate.
You step forward to investigate the severed limb. A trail of blood leads from its jagged stump into a dark corner of the basement. And then you hear the quiet patter of feet against the floor, and there's suddenly a weight on your shoulders. The princess tears into you. Her teeth and claws are unnaturally sharp, ripping into your shoulders, digging into your throat. You fall to the ground, the princess eagerly tearing at your flesh. Her ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers lose their grip on the blade. It slips from your hand, your one last means of defense, lying useless beside you in a pool of your cooling blood. I suppose you just lacked the will to fight back. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Alright, the beast. We're back on track. It's fine. Proceed. Proceed. We are going to take the blade.
You take the blade.
Enter the basement. Alright. Save. We don't have to kill each other. You know that, right?
There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous. The princess lunges from the shadows, her more unhinged and dripping.
As the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls
hunger.
twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as corrosive. Liquid sloshes around you, but there's no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here?
Steel claw tear through her before we or her
Or we
survive.
could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
I want to just die. Dig.
Though you have little room to move, you use what strength you can muster
Blech.
to drive the blade forward into the thick walls of tissue digesting you.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
Dig?
You slice again,
Ugh.
deeper, rooting through her meat with the tip of your blade, until at last it finds her beating heart. The pulling has turned to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Your flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
Play.
Though your body is dissolving, eroding into unrecognizable shapes, your will drives it forward. You have a target, and you will strike it. We're too late, aren't we? This isn't survival. This is spite. No,
It's something better. It's fulfilling a noble destiny. Your lone functioning arm lashes out, stabbing up towards the princess's heart.
So you found a way to kill me? Then we'll die together, and I will see you again soon.
With those prophetic words, you do not draw another breath, your body tangled and melting in the cooling folds of the princess's flesh. Everything goes dark, and you die. But at least you've saved the world, I hope.
The wild.
We are a path
What?
in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders,
What?
curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
Oh, I like that. I don't feel so small anymore when you put it like that.
That's because you aren't small, even if you act that way. We're both so much more together than we were apart, and we can be so much more still, vast, unfathomable.
You're not mad at us for stabbing you in the heart, are you?
No. Are you mad at me for swallowing you whole?
Not really. It all seems so petty right now. She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
Staying watching us. What is he?
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you. That's not an answer to our question.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
Enough of this guy. How do we stop him?
We push back.
It may feel like he's everywhere, but presence isn't strength. Otherwise, he would have torn us apart by now. There must be a crack in the walls of this prison. There must be a way for us to be free from him.
She's trying to use you. After everything she's done, you should be able to see that. I may not have been around to witness it, but clearly you remember what happened. How about you try remembering how it all felt?
Remember how it felt?
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
I think we should hear out whatever it is that's trying to be heard. I like to take all options into account before making any big decisions, and what's the harm in just listening?
Gaze.
Please, don't make us remember how I was.
And just like that, you start to fall apart. I can remember it now. I didn't like being eaten. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. She didn't care. She didn't care at all. All of that digging with the knife, and we didn't even get to win. That was hard work. I wanted to win. And what's the point of being part of a larger whole if we're not the one in charge of that whole? As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess, you start to remember something else, too. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
No! I devoured you! I won! I put things back the way they were supposed to be!
Some division, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were.
Keep it.
A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole. And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
I feel empty, don't you?
I feel safe. She isn't dangerous anymore. We could leave her. We could both live. Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it. I mean, what's the point of being king of the hill if there's no one around to be better than? We'd just be sitting on a hill. Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to.
I want to kill you, not really, but we can't be the same thing as each other. I had to put, I'm gonna save it, actually. Quick save it. I had to put an end to whatever happened to us, cut her free.
Devious little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have another thing coming. And that other thing is... we'll just have to wait and find out when it happens. Ignore him. His words only confuse us. Just do it. He's weak. Thinks he can boss us around when he doesn't have any authority. We're clearly the ones with authority around here, so we can do whatever we like. You're tired, aren't you? No, I'm not. I'm... fine. cut the princess down from the roots that bind her. I hope you're happy. Good luck getting her out of here.
I didn't think you would do that after everything. It's so cold without you.
Don't get a chance to respond, nor were you ever.
She's gone. And is that a...
Approach.
That thing reeks of death. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
The small distance as you approach, gaze. You are nothing. You're right, you can't be nothing. Are you
I think
me?
you know.
We are just going to... We'll ask one question. A construct.
It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done. And it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore.
That noise. Destroy. You've heard enough. You know what you are. You're the long quiet. Proceed. Arrive. Okay, we brought Wounded to
I
her.
can finally see you.
I'm actually gonna save it and then load that quick save. Yes. Play.
You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart. And then you strike.
Off.
I'm sorry.
Here's your dice. Time to leave.
She's gone.
Approach. Nothing from that. To make sure. Destroy. These are both too wounded, so that's why I'm like, it's fine. Alright. Load. Load the initial
I can
wounded.
finally see you. And you can finally see me.
What happens
Over the
now?
past
Play.
violence,
A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now. And you chose to pull apart that weave. But you did not choose to end me. We were still one, but we were also separate, and we were free. We were as we are. Will you excise that part of yourself now that you see me from yet another angle?
You're a part of me. I couldn't bring myself to hurt you.
All things are connected through me and through you. To harm me is to harm yourself, is to harm everything. The truth of that moment remains our truth.
A trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move and yet we both don't. For each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. You let me move and I slam the door. But that is not the end. And both of us must face our partner once again. The barbs twist deeper, but they do not have to. To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow?
There are no endings, there are no limits. If there are no limits, then there's no difference between growth and decay.
Meaning lies in experience, and experience lies in contrast. Abandoning one's search is not the same as losing the capacity to discover. I am contrast itself. To reject me is to reject the shape of everything. Do not use words to reduce that which your eyes know to be irreducible. Brutality splashes you against the walls, but with stubborn defiance you rise again. And with the dance of our conflict, I was brought somewhere new. Without you, my world would have been so small. Do you remember the moment of your triumph? Do you remember the feeling of your blade finally cutting me down? My defeat was a gift. Without obstacles to overcome, we stagnate into nothing.
We've both grown from it, haven't we?
We have. Look at what we are now, and see how small we were then.
A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they do not return it. I offer you a path to your redemption, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was used to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption.
Without redemption, there can be no sin.
And without contrast, there can be nothing at all.
Boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, then alive and dead, all at once. You learned to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality. And you used it to humble me, to show me how far I was from what I needed to be. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them.
Everything put me through, it didn't last, it wasn't worth it.
And yet here we are, finally on the cusp of reaching something so much bigger than that little play.
You motivated to be in shape, your will rapidly dissolving. Not let you exist, slay.
Even now.
Ah, we already did that one. I did that whenever I looked at the
I
mirror.
don't think that's wrong, but I'm not sure it's right either. But we can worry about all that later. You'll never be able to strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
No.
Too bad. We're going. Now.
Take the blade, enter. No, while you're here, you don't have to draw it out for my sake.
It sounded...
Continue. Knife in hand, that sight brings me back. You're gonna do it again, aren't you? You're gonna really kill me.
You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
Well, I have to slay you, but I don't know what other options there are.
Well, I don't want to be...
How do we know I haven't done this before? This isn't fair. Can I do anything to help them? I want to forget you. We're gonna find ourselves back here. Any other way? Okay. I'm just gonna hit every explorer, which I've clearly already done. Agree. See you soon. Love you. Being okay with the world ending? Alright, well... Guess... We have like one more loop to go, except the awkward bit is... I hit tower twice. I have 2 things left in tower to do. Oh, that's the thing. I don't know if it's gonna let me do them both in the same playthrough. If not, I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Point is, thank you for watching. Next part, we will start again and go for, I guess, the technical last loop. I'll figure out the stuff with Tower. So, thanks for watching. Thank you, Stripe PR, for the code. Seriously, go check this game out. It's so good. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. Really enjoyed it. Consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps her keep doing content like this and more. I'll links for that in the description below, along with the links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!